Hello everybody, my name is Nightlite, and today I am here to bring you some Dicey Dungeons, which is a brand new roguelite game with card elements, some dice elements obviously. It's a game that I'm having a lot of fun with, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Full disclosure, I have played a little bit of this game. I probably put about 5 or 6 hours into it. You can even see I have the last character unlocked, but I'm not going to say anything about him yet. If you don't want to know anything about him, I probably should have thought about this beforehand. Just don't look at it. Just don't look at it. So there are 6 characters in this game, obviously, from here. There might be more. If there's secret ones, I'm not 100% sure. But let's start with the warrior here. I think the best way to explain this game is kind of play it a little bit. So we have the warrior. He's probably the simplest character to play in the game. You can see his difficulty is 1 star down here. And he says, whoa, this is exhausting. It turns out you can get too much exercise. But hey, fighting monsters is still fun. I couldn't have said it any better, buddy. So we'll start on him here. This is an episodic game, so there are different parameters you could put on your run depending on which door that you pick here. Obviously these last 2 are locked here, and that's because you have to complete a certain number of episodes before other doors open. We're just going to start with number 1 here, which is The Warrior's Welcome. A straightforward adventure for a straightforward warrior. That sounds exactly like me. Standard rules. Let's go ahead. I don't know if it's going to give a little plot here. No, it's just going to give a normal opening. So the story, as far as I know it so far, is Lady Luck here is the host of this game show. We have all come on this game show to make sure that we have our wishes fulfilled. We all have a wish, and she says that if we win the game, we have a chance of it being fulfilled. At the end, they spin a wheel, and it has always landed on the losing slot every single time. I think she's the devil. I don't really know, but we're going to find out as we continue on the series. And now entering battle again, the warrior. Who somehow is still trying. Alright, so this is the overworld here. This is a pretty simple overworld. First level usually is. So I'm just going to go through some of the UI very quickly. On the bottom left here, you can see that we are the warrior. Beyond that, we have 24 health, and then it's level 1, level up in 2 stars, and stars are XP in this game. We have an equipment slot. Backpack right here, this is where all the inventory would go when we don't have space in our equipped. And equipped. And as the warrior, we only have one thing equipped, which is the sword. And it's do blank damage. So you roll a dice, you put the slot in there, and that's how much damage you do. It's very simple. That's why this is the level 1 difficulty. Now these are the enemies right here. We have Hothead and the Gardener. And then you'll see there's a chest on the left side, and then a door on the right, and that is the exit to the next level. My general rule of thumb for this game is fight all of the enemies on every floor. Whenever you level up, you do get full health, and if you fight every enemy, you get a final level up at the end, which fills your health, so I think that's very important before going into the final boss. So let's fight Hothead here. Alright, so innately, Hothead is weak to ice. There are types of powers similar to typing in Pokemon or something like that. There's better comparisons, but that's all I'm thinking of right now. But it's not something you really need to be fully aware of. It just kind of happens in game usually. So we have 24 health. We have a special ability right underneath it, which is Fury right here. We don't have it yet. Whenever we take damage, this bar fills up a little bit. So Fury doubles our next action, and it says ready in HP. So once we drop down to 16 HP, we can click on this, and then it would double. So let's say we put the 4 in the sword slot, it would do 8 damage then. We also innately have combat roll as the warrior, and that re-rolls a dice, and we have 3 uses this turn. So 1, obviously we want a higher number than that, so we will re-roll that. That's a 2. That is a 5. 5 is better than 4, so I'm glad we did that. And we'll re-roll the 4. That's a 3. So we'll use the 5 in the damage here. One other thing I want to point out is you can also see the enemy moves, and I thought that was pretty cool. So Hothead has 2 dice, as you can see in the top right by his name there, and he's going to roll both of those dice, and if he gets an even, he's going to put it in this slot. And it deals whatever numbers damage, and that's fire damage. Now, we're just a normal type, I guess, so it wouldn't do any extra damage to us. But it does burn 1 dice, and if he lands an even, I'll explain that a little bit further. But for right now, let's just put a 5 in, do 5 damage, and then we enter. Okay, so he has a 4. That does 4 damage to us, and then we get 1 burn. So burn sets the next dice on fire, and it costs 2 HP to extinguish. So you can see our 6 here is on fire, if we click that, we will take 2 damage. We can choose not to touch it at all, which I think is interesting. Like right here, we don't really need to because we have 2 6s. Just put the 6 in the sword slot, and then we just don't touch that and then turn. But if that was a 6 and this were a 3, however, you'd probably want to take the 2 extra damage just to do the extra 3 to high head. I don't want to sound like I'm overcomplicating things here. This is very simple, but we're just going to keep going. 2 5s, suck it nerd. And either of these will do it, so we'll just put the 5 in there. I do want to point out that Fury, you can see here, is ready in 4 HP now and it's half full. So when that fills up, we would be able to use it. So let's go ahead and do that. And sometimes they do have text after. I don't understand if that's like a plot thing or not, or it's just cute. I think it's cute. Hi, it says, I'm actually not bothered. I didn't want to win anyway. Winning like a true champ. And we win, you always get 1 coin after every monster battle, and then you get 1 XP. The XP is based on the level of the monster you were fighting, so we were fighting a level 1, so we got 1 level. And they have it mathematically leveled out, so you always level at the right times depending on the floor. But 1 more XP and we will level up. Let's go to this chest. And we find Toxic Ooze. Do whatever amount of damage, like our sword, but if we land a 6, we will add 2 poison to the enemy. The way poison works is if they have 2 poison on them, at the start of their turn they'll take 1 damage. Or I'm sorry, at the start of the turn they'll take 2 damage, and then their poison will go down to 1 poison. So whatever poison value is on them is how much damage they will take on the beginning of their turn. So let's say they had 6 poison on them, they would take 6 damage, and then next turn they would take 5 unless we added more. That's actually incredibly powerful for early game especially. It's automatically equipped, so we will use that very well. Here we have the Gardener. So Toxic Ooze is there now. As you can see, we still have combat roll. Let's look at their moves. Gardener has Shovel. Do blank damage on 6, inflict 1 weaken. I don't know if weaken is a type or not. I've never seen any enemy that's innately strong or weak against weaken, but I see this does weaken damage. It doesn't do anything extra to us, unless they hit the 6 and then it inflicts the 1 weaken. Now, weaken, what it does, and hopefully we don't see it here because it's actually pretty powerful, but what it does is it will take one of your cards. So let's say that we have our sword here. It would randomly, I think it's randomly at least, select one of our power cards, and then when it weakens it, it would make the sword minus. And when that's the case, it might say do blank damage, but it's 3 or less. So we can't put a 6 in there, it would have to be a 3 or less, and that definitely is a disadvantage. And I can show you the poison here because we have a 6, fortunately. Let's reroll this 1 a few times. That sucks. Alright, so we'll put the 6 in here, and it's going to add 2 poison to him, so 6 damage, and then 2 poison. So we know he'll be 4 next turn, and then the poison will drop from 2 to 1. So he will be at 4 health with 1 poison left on him. And I guess we'll do that. And he's at 3 health, 1 poison. We do get weakened. I did this. So this is, our Fury is activated because we took enough damage, and it actually did exactly what I said. So it weakened Sword, and now we can only put 3 in there, so we can only do 3 damage to him, maximum with that card. However, that's all we need to do. We'll drop it in there. He is dead. We'll level up. Maximum health increased by 4, so now we have 28. I can't remember exactly how much health we had. I think it was 24 before. But yeah, we're 28. And we get an extra dice, so now we are not just rolling 2 dice, we are rolling 3. That's very important for certain characters. The way they built this game is actually very interesting. All the characters are very unique, so if you think this might be a little basic or boring for you, don't worry, it gets a lot more exciting in later episodes. Let's see. Well, I do want to fight all the characters. Let's not start with Baby Squid. Well, yeah, let's start with Baby Squid, because we have health right there, in case we need to heal up after this fight. Alright, we have our Limit Break, which is Fury. Adding 4 poison to him would be pretty good, so we'll go ahead and click that. 6 in here. So it does 12 damage, 4 poison, so we'll be at 10 health. We'll reroll a few times. Alright, and we do 5 more damage. So that'll bring him down to 5. Let's see what moves he has. If Baby Squid gets an odd, it'll blind 1 dice. And blinding is essentially we'll still get the dice, but we can't see what the value is. So let's say we rolled a 2 and we can't see it. We put it in our sword slot. We'll do 2 damage when maybe we could have done 5 or something else with another dice. And then we have headbutt here. It has to have an even, and it does blank damage. And there are 2 uses this turn. He has 2 dice, so if he gets 2 evens, he can do that much damage. I feel like I'm over-explaining things. I'm good at that. Don't worry about it. And he gets 2 odds, so he's just gonna blind us once, and that'll be it. Let's see. Only need to do 5 damage. You are dead. We win. This game's easy. Don't even worry about it. Nah, like as I said, some of the characters later on get much harder. The witch especially, which is the 5th character. The witch can suck it. I hate the witch. It destroys my brain. So Dryad is strong against poison innately, and that is bad because we have poison. We're still gonna do it because, you know, why not? So it does 6 damage still, but it's probably only gonna take 1 health away instead of 2. Still not bad. Do 6 damage. We will end turn. Okay. Oh, I didn't even look at the. What am I doing? I didn't even look at the attacks. Okay, we'll go back and see what happened. So she did 3 damage to us. Venus Flytrap here, do 3 damage on 6, restore 2 health. So that would just heal her. And then Poison Slingshot, this has a 12 value. And so the way these work, these countdown cards, you put your dice in there. If you don't have, like, it would be good for us to have a countdown card actually, because we have 3 dice and only 2 cards that would use them. So if we had a countdown here, it said 12 here. If we put a 5 in there, it would bring it down to 7. She put a 2 and a 1 in there, so it brought it down to 9. And that adds 4 poison to us once it gets down to 0, and then it resets to 12. Let's reroll some dice. Alright. More poison, more damage, and we will have her next turn. We should have had her that turn if she wasn't strong against poison. Leaf creatures. That did 4 damage, that is totally okay. You're good. Oh, you think you can beat trees, do you? You feeling good? The trees will wait, and they will eat you when you're gone. Mate? You from Australia? You don't look like you're from Australia. Not to judge on appearance or anything. Max health increased by 4. We are level 3. Between certain levels, you get to choose a reward. I kind of have my own opinions about what's good and what's bad. You be the judge. I might be completely wrong. We have Spike Shield here. It's max 5. On even, you do damage. On odd, you gain shield. Shield just defends you from attacks. And shield you can stack. I haven't seen enough shield cards to really be able to stack, however. My meta in this game is just kill things as quickly as you can until they're dead, so they can't do as much damage to you. Boomerang here does that. So you do 2 times whatever dice roll to your enemy, but you do the dice roll to yourself. That sounds horrible, because if you get a 6, sure, you do 12 to them, but 6 damage to you is a lot. But there are upgrades later in the game that make cards stronger, and the upgrade to Boomerang is very good, because you only ever do, I think it's you only do 3 damage to yourself, no matter what number you put in there, and you can choose whether you want to use it or not, so if you're at low health, you don't have to use it. I like it a lot too. Another thing to point out, it's a smaller card. This is like half the size of the Spike Shield here. So you get more inventory space if you use the Boomerang. So I'm going to take the Boomerang. I might be completely wrong. Y'all might think I'm crazy. I'm going with it. Ooh, and then we get Bump here, which ups your dice value +1. So this is, I think usually this color card means that it's a utility card. Let's look at our equipment. Everything fits in there. If we picked the other one, Bump would not have fit in there. So, you know, I'm just the best. This cart right here is the shop. We have 4 coins. This is the one thing I will say about the game. I feel like the shop and their trading posts too, I think they're a little bit underpowered so far from what I've seen in the game. I've never really, there have been like a handful of times when I've gone to a shop and really decided that I wanted something. Like I was like, that is very good with our build. But it's very rare, honestly, especially with the trading post, because if you have a build that you like, it'll make you just trade something away. And then you're like, well, that goes against my build. Why would I do that? But always like to take a look. We have the buckler here for 7 total. You add 4 to the shield, and that is 1 gold. We don't really have a shield build going on, so we will skip over that. Another boomerang here, and this one's 2 gold. That would be interesting. Maybe it would be good just to have in the back in case we get 2 upgrades, and then we could upgrade both of them. Because that is very powerful. I'll think about it. Then we have first aid kit here. 16 total, heal 8 health. That is a lot of healing, but that is also a lot of value. That's a lot of turns you have to take away from doing damage. I don't know if I like that. I will buy the boomerang. You know, I have the gold sitting around. I don't want to do too much damage to ourselves immediately, so I'm gonna let it sit there. But if we get 2 upgrades, having 2 upgraded boomerangs would be very powerful. We got Sneezy here, one of my favorite enemies. Gotcha! Okay, so things got a little bit more complicated here, but really all that added was the boomerang and the bump. We'll look at the enemy moves. Sneezy is very heavy on 1s, so first, just ignore all the ones on the right here. Let's look at Sneeze. Minimum 2, split a dice into 1. So let's say he gets a 4. He would put the 4 in here, he would get 4 1s. Now, with those 1s, he would probably do, he has Sharp Spike and Spike. Sharp Spike, put a 1 in there, 1 in there, that's 2. It would do 2 times that, so it would do 4 damage. We take 4 damage. So for 2 1s, he does 4 damage. He'd do it again over here. And then in this one, if he only gets like 1 1 or something like that, it would only do 2 damage because it only needs 1 dice here. So let's see what we got. First, let's reroll. Let's reroll. Why does the game hate me? That is okay. Just yell at the game and then it likes you. Let's see. We might actually be able to kill him first turn, maybe. We have dice value +1, so we gotta remember that. Ooh, also to note, put a 6 on bump. It doesn't make it a 7. You would get the 6 back, and then you would get another dice, and it would be a 1. That's maybe not too good in our situation right now because we don't have enough slots to use it, but that is very good on certain characters. There's a little bit of intricacy when it comes to the technicalities in this game. That's what I like about it, honestly. So just keep that in mind. So do I want to do the 2 poison with the 6, or do I want to do 12 damage? Because this will do 8. Let's see. It's adding an extra 4 versus the 4 in there. Oh, but we have the bump. So we do this. We do 6. That would be 6, and that's 8 damage innately, and then that's 10. So that would be 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, that would do 23 damage. Would be 1 short. I guess in that case, I want to do less damage to myself, yeah? So if I do 6, and then I do 6, that would be 12, 17, and we should be able to finish him off from there. Yeah, so this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm actually gonna do less damage to him to do less damage to myself. So that's an obvious one. Get 2 poison on him. So if we put the 5 in there, that would do 10 damage, bring him down to 8, and then that would bring him down to 5, and then the poison would do 2 more, bringing down to 3. But instead, I think what I want to do, because this would do 5 damage to myself, I'm just going to do 3 damage to myself. Ooh, but I didn't think about the Fury. Oh, I am a genius, because you double up, you do 5, you do 10, the poison kills him. I am the best player of this game ever, and no one can tell me any different. I'm a genius. Alright, so we win, we get 2 XP, we get 1 coin, we're moving on. I am feeling fantastic. And there was health there the entire time. I'm crazy, but you know, it worked out. Alright, they gave us a lot of health on this one, which is nice. We got Wizard and Keymaster. These are actually 2 of my least favorite enemies that I remember. The Wizard is incredibly annoying, because we should look at his attacks here. He has an attack for every single dice that he rolls. Now, he only has 1 dice. But 2 of them, or 3 of them, immediately do 5 damage, which is a lot of damage to our 32 health. One of them inflicts 4 poison, which is a lot of damage over time. One of them dodges our next attack, which is annoying, and the last one gives him an extra dice so he could do 10 damage each turn if he rolled well. So that's very annoying. But we got 2 6s, which is very good. Maybe we could kill him first turn. That would be good. Easy. 6, 2 poison. That would 12, 10, 8. Yeah. Oh, I should have rerolled. I'm an idiot. I should have rerolled. But I am a genius. 6, 12, 6. Bring him down to 2. And that's good. All he's gonna do is dodge next attack, which is not a problem, because we will just do like, ooh, and then we'll do that. And he is dead. And we can go back to health. Keymaster here. Keymaster is very annoying because you want to kill him very quickly. Enemy moves, same thing, he has something for every dice. The way this works is if he rolls a 1, let's say, unlocks the Keyblade, he gets the 1 back, and then he puts a 1 in there, that does 3 damage. All of these underneath do 3 damage to us. So if he has 3 of them unlocked, let's say, or sorry, let's go back. So he has the 1 unlocked, he gets the 1 back, he does 3 damage. Next turn he unlocks 2, he gets it back, 3 damage, he gets it back, 1 damage, he gets it back. So that's 6 damage in total. Next turn he would do 9 damage in total, and it just keeps adding up. It's very scary. Also, can I just point out how great this soundtrack is? I think it's done by someone named Chipzel, who did the music for Super Hexagon, and I'm sure that's a game many of you are familiar with. She is a fantastic music producer, and I would just like to shout her out because I love this soundtrack so much. We got a 5. Before we bump that, let's roll again. Got a 5. Got a 4. Okay, we're gonna bump this. Get that poison in. We're gonna heal at the end of this because we're gonna level. So I don't think it matters how much damage we do to ourselves as long as we kill him quickly. Okay, and then we get double next turn. I don't even think we're gonna have to use it. I think it's better to save this. Yeah, as you can see, he got the 3. He returned the dice to him. Yeah, we're not gonna need it. Didn't even need to do that, but just to, be good about things. There's level up, we get full health, get an extra dice. Let's look at their cards. Blight, double our poison. This would be good if we had a poison build. We do have a poison card, but I don't think that's enough to really validate 24 of a count. That's 4 6s. That's a lot of 6s to put in there just to double. What, we do 2 poison every turn? Kind of crazy. So we'll keep it, but we're not going to use it, I don't think. Unless... That's still not enough poison. 3 poison is not enough to really... It doesn't make it worth putting 4 6s in to our other card, just a double 3. That's too much work. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, the boomerang upgrade. So if we put a 6 in there, we still just do 3 to ourselves. And as we get later in the game, 3 becomes less and less important. But let's look at the rest of them. Sword, instead of just doing, let's say 6 damage, it would do 7 damage. That's pretty weak. This one adds the poison, just 1 poison, which is better than sword, but still pretty weak. Upgrading bump allows us to have 2 uses of it, which is pretty good depending on the build you have going. Let's look at our backpack. Blight turns it to 18. Not good enough. Boomerang, same thing. So we're just going to upgrade this boomerang, and we will move on. We probably should have gone to the shop first to see if there's something else we wanted. Ooh. If we had a build that revolved around rolling a lot of dice, this would be very good. The next character we're going to play, actually, which I believe is the Thief, he rolls a lot of dice. He gets a lot of low rolls. So Claw would be very good for him, because this one, anytime you roll anything under a 3, you do that damage, plus you add 1 poison. Actually, the Thief's card is better. Yeah, the Thief starts with Dagger, which is max 3, and you do that damage, and it's reusable, so you could just put as many low roll dice as you could in there. Max 3 for Healing Crystal, recover whatever health. We don't really want any of these. We do have Fury still, which is nice. We got pretty low rolls, hoping for something better. Alright, bump that. So here's where things get interesting. If we Fury the boomerang and put the 6 in there, that does not just 12 damage, that does 24 damage. That's a ton of damage. But also it would do 6 to us. Would I rather do 12 damage with 4 poison? In this case, yes, I think. Because she's gonna die soon anyway. I might have screwed up, but we'll roll with it. Wait, why did I do that? Because I'm an idiot. Okay, hear me out. I am an idiot because if I put the 6 in Boomerang, a lot just happened. I'll explain that in a second. But if I put the 6 in Boomerang, I would still just do 3 to myself. And putting 3 in there, I did 3 to myself twice. Same as I would have if I put the 6 in there. I'm an idiot. We're moving on. So what she just did, she rolled 2 odds, which did whatever damage, and then froze 2 of our ice. Freezing turns the highest dice we roll into 1. So whatever values these were, they just got turned into 1s. That's not too bad for us because we do have reroll a dice here. And we got Fury back, so she's definitely gone this turn. Man, this game does not like me sometimes. Let's see. If I... Oh. Probably screwed that up. Because I didn't want to damage myself. No. Just Fury. Don't be an idiot. Good. I didn't even need to do that because she had the poison on her. I'm not very attentive in these games, especially when I'm explaining things. I'm realizing that takes a lot of attention away, but you know, we're still doing well. We are on level 4. There's only 6 floors here, so we're okay. Oh, I just noticed. That is an error on their part. This says level 4. This says floor 4. Oh wait, we are level 4. I'm still an idiot. Moving on. This path has the health, so let's fight the Yeti first. Yeti is weak to fire. This is a good bump target. We will reroll. And we will reroll. And we will reroll. And this game still hates me. Yeah, so let's bump this. We'll get the poison. But let's think for a second. Yeah. Is the poison better than Boomerang? Hold up, let me actually do some math real quick. Toxic Ooze, put the 6 in there. That's 6 damage. Adds 2 poison, so that's 10 damage. And then next turn it would do an extra 1, so that's 11 damage. Boomerang. You know what? Boomerang 6 is actually better than Toxic Ooze 6 because Boomerang does 12 damage total. This only does 11. See, I'm glad we figured that out. We actually did the math. And he's at half health. 1 damage, frozen ice. 5 damage, frozen ice. That's kind of bad. Ice Age. If he gets 1 and 1, it freezes all of our dice, which makes all 1s, which would be very bad. Good bump target right there. Let's reroll. That's a good one. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Bump. Do we need to? 6, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we need to. Thank you. There's something very novel about this game. I do enjoy it a lot. I'm having a good time with it. I do want to shout out Northern Lion for showing me this game. He's a he's a YouTuber that I've been a long time fan of, and I just hope that I can do his series justice. So we found Hammer here. It is do blank damage on 6, inflict 1 shock. So shock isn't something we've seen so far, so that's something I need to explain. The way shock works is much like weaken. It would target one of the cards. The only difference is instead of weakening the card, it shocks it. So you have to use one of your dice to unlock it before you can use the ability. So it kind of blanks it out until you use a dice to unlock it, and then you can then use the ability on it. So it's pretty good. Is it better than poison? Let me think about that. Is it better than adding 2 poison? Yes. Because all the poison is really doing is adding 3 damage total, and we're going to be putting a lot of 6s into... I mean, we're already putting a lot of 6s into Boomerang anyway, and Hammer requires 6 for it to do anything different. We'll go with Hammer, just to show you, I guess. You know, a little bit of variety. This scares me. These could easily kill us. They're both level 4. We can fight the Kraken first, just to see what the trading post has. Good bump, and that's good Fury. Yeah, let's see. Good. That's a good roll. We will... Do I want to inflict 2 shock? Let's see. He has 5 dice. I rather do 24 damage, which is a lot of damage? I think I'd rather do 24 damage. Boomerang's so strong, I don't know why you'd never use it, really. And if he does any damage to us, like 6 HP, we're gonna have Fury again. 5, and he's dead next turn. But 5 dice is a lot, and kinda scary. Let's see. Curses me. So, blinds 2 dice, so we cannot see the first 2 dice values. These are great rolls, though. So the way Cursed works, and Cursed is honestly one of the most game-ending things in here. I think we're good right now, but it's very scary. All equipment has a 50% chance to fail, and it disappears once triggered. So, let's say we drop the 6 in the boomerang, which I'm not going to do first because it's horrifying. If we do that, then what happens is there's a 50% chance that it could take our 6 and that card away. And then we just have whatever dice we have left and these cards, and it does nothing. This doesn't take it away permanently. We have it next turn, but it's still very scary to do. So let's see. Let's bump first. Didn't take that away. Let's hammer. Okay, so that took the 6 away. We're still gonna kill him. 4 XP. We're at a little bit under half health. If we kill this direwolf, we do level up, so that's good. Let's see what we got. Ooh, this might be a good trade. Double our poison, which we have no need for. She wants us to trade that for a staff, which is put 8 in, you deal 6 damage, you burn 1 dice. Well, we're gonna take it, but I don't think it's gonna do anything for us because I don't think we're gonna use that. So we'll say deal. That's in our backpack now, but you know, I don't think we're gonna have any use for it, but didn't have any use for Blight either, so why not? Look, Direwolf is strong against poison, so I made the right choice, guys. Let's see what we got. We got a 6 already. That is good. That is a 5. That is good. All right, these are good rolls. That's a 6. Oh, hear me out here. You ready? So we put the 6 in here. We don't have our Fury yet. It's rating 2 HP, but I'll tell you what. We do 12 damage. Boom, it's ready. We hit it. That's 2 shock right there. That would shock these. This is a good enemy to shock against because these are very powerful. We could get cursed if we get stubbles. Does poison to us. It would be very good to not take any damage the next turn. Let's see how it goes. Shock these. Okay. That's 3 damage. That's 4 damage. That's 6 damage. And you can hear the music get much more intense when we get to this point. Remember that we will get a full heal once we kill this enemy, so it's totally okay. That is 12 and 3 to us, but that's fine because we get full health. Things do get a little dicey at the end. Things do get a little scary at the end. But generally, if you keep a cool head, there are usually not too many situations you can't get out of. It's all just numbers. It's all just numbers. So we have shield bash here. Bash with shield, do light damage. This game really pushes for a shield build. I think I've never effectively done one. I've never even really tried because I feel like there's not enough elements to make one. But maybe I'm crazy. You guys tell me in the comments. Then we have upgrade equipment, which we are obviously going to upgrade. Ooh, makes hammer smaller. And then we can have the other boomerang. Well, let's look at staff. See what it does. 2 more damage, not worth it. I want to upgrade that boomerang too, but I think I'd rather just have it on the equipment here. So we're gonna upgrade hammer, makes it smaller. So yeah, now we can have 2 boomerangs equipped, which is fantastic. And we will move on. 5th floor, very scary. Pretty direct path here. Rhino Beetle first. Relatively low rolls. 5, that's good to bump. 4, that's good. 3. So let's do this. Well, let's look at these moves first. We could shock one of these, which might be good. Max 4, do 2 times whatever damage. 12. If we shock that, it really doesn't matter because he has 3 dice anyway. Yeah, shock doesn't do a whole lot in this scenario. So I think we're good just bumping this and then doing the boomerang. I was hoping we would get that back. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And we'll save this Fury for next turn. 4 damage, no big deal. I do want to avoid that though, hoping to kill him this turn. Reroll. Okay. Is there a way we get out of this without taking our earned damage? No. So, Fury. Much rather do that. Okay. We win. You might say, you know, there are ways to avoid that damage. Maybe there are, but I also don't care. We're moving on here. You know, I'm gonna get through this. We're gonna try to win. Another poison combo here. Detonator. Do 1 damage for every poison on an enemy. If I knew we were gonna get all these poisons, I might have tried to, you know, get everything done. But unfortunately, you don't know until the end. Trying to think of a quote that has to do with that, but I can't, so we'll go to the shop. Restore 10 HP for 4. Upgrade. This is the last floor, so we don't have to worry about gold that much. We can buy all of these after we fight all the enemies on here. What is Lightning Rod? Discharge 0 damage, take damage to charge. Interesting. I don't think we have the space for it. Oh, you know what? We could replace the sword. Yeah, I've never tried this. I'm interested. Let's do it. I'm gonna replace the sword with the lightning rod. I don't know if this, like, so if you take 10 damage, I assume it's not gonna discharge 10 damage. That would be kind of crazy, right? That would be like very OP. No, you know what? It probably does that. That's a lot. After you use it, does it go back to 0 or does it keep building? I guess we'll find out. See, I'm learning with you guys. I'm gonna go towards Gargoyle first because I want to get that upgrade before facing either of these guys. And if we get smashed, we can always get that health. That's the only reason I didn't buy that upgrade first, is because if we get smashed here, I want the health to survive the other encounters. Reroll. Reroll. Reroll? Okay. We do have doubles, but that's not going to do anything for us here. Bump that. Okay, so the way the Gargoyle works is if he has to get a roll that's higher than 3. Or 3 or higher, I'm sorry. He does 3 damage, and then it gives him a reroll with a lower value. So if he gets a 6, he puts it in there, it does 3 damage. He might get a 5, he puts it in that, it does 3 damage. He might get a 4, he puts it in that, it does 3 damage. So we could do total a lot of damage, about 12 damage in a turn. And then if it rerolls to a 1, you can use this to lock one of my dice. So you get a lot of combo potential. One shock I don't think is going to do a whole lot. Because if we shock just one of the avalanches, he has 3 others that you could use, so I'm not even going to worry about that. We are going to do double damage. We're going to do 4. We're not going to use that until next turn. We're going to do 4. And we will pass. Not having sword there means we passed up 2 damage, but that's totally okay. Ooh, this is a good turn. He only locks 2 of our dice. I am totally okay with that. And you know what? We took 7 damage, and this discharges 7 damage. That's kind of crazy. Reroll. That's fantastic. That just killed it. It's cool. Alrighty. So, do we need that health? We should probably purchase it just for, you know, to be smart. We'll upgrade this other boomerang unless this is crazy. Discharge. Oh, that just makes it an even. Well, we're gonna upgrade both eventually anyway. I think I would rather upgrade this first because we know we're gonna use that in these next 2 encounters. We don't know if we're gonna use that, so we'll upgrade that, and then we'll upgrade the other one later. But first, we need health. We have to make sure we survive these 2 encounters. Fight the harder one first, so I don't know. I just feel better fighting the harder one first. Get the hard stuff out of the way. 50 health. This one's doozy. What the moves? Silence enemy. So that means we can't use our Fury. Shriek curses enemy. That means that we have a 50% chance of failing. These always freeze, which means we will always have ones. Thankfully, we have combat roll and bump to get rid of that, but we'll have to get lucky anyway. Let's see. 5? Do I reroll this? Like, I think a 4 is fine enough. Let's see. But we could. You know what? We're gonna do 6 here. We're gonna use that here. We're gonna use that there. So might as well reroll it. 4. Okay. 12. 10. 5. 10. Oh, 1 6 do frozen. Okay. That's not that bad. Fury. We will. See, we have to be careful because we have the other enemy to fight still. So I don't want to do too much damage to ourselves. We have doubles here, so that would be 16. Now if we bump this, that would be another 6, so that would be 22. And we could Fury this. Guys, I'm an idiot. Okay, so I'm not an idiot, but I didn't know that's how that was gonna work. So it did the whatever damage it did, and it comes back with 0. I didn't know it was gonna come back with 0, so it didn't do anything to it. And now we can't. Damn it. Alright. Well, we'll take 3. I'll live with it. We learned. It was worth it. Can we survive Snowman with less health? Well, first let's upgrade, just to up our chances a little bit. Upgrade the lightning rod. We have a good setup. If we survive this, I think we have a pretty good chance of beating the boss. Because this is going to give us a full heal at the end of it. Let's see. Reroll. Reroll. Oh god, this is a bad roll. Holy crap, that's bad. What are these moves? All odd moves. And he always freezes. That's not that bad, but we just want to make sure we take him out before he kills us. So let's say hypothetically, heroes, what's the highest roll that would kill us? 5, 5. So getting all 5s would kill us. Getting all 3s would not. But if we do 3 damage to ourselves, 14. So we can do this 1 time. Oh, this is scary, man. Okay. I don't know, man. Do I want to do it? Because we might fear it. This is hard. 8? Is 8 worth it? What if he rolls no odds, though? I'm gonna use 1. I don't think I'm gonna use the other. Maybe that was very wrong, but we don't know. So I'll do 6 damage to me. Scary music start. That'll do 7 damage to me, but it gives me Fury, which is fantastic. Oh, okay. Please. Please. Okay. Do we live? Math time. That's 12:24. Oh my god, guys. We live with 1 health. So that does 6 to us. Let's go. Guys, I don't know if you realize, but you are watching the world's best player. Get an extra dice. I just realized too that these boomerangs really do a lot for us with the lightning rod because it does damage to ourselves, and then this adds up the damage that we take for attack damage. So our build is fantastic. Let's fight the final boss. Warrior versus... I have never seen Audrey before. This scares me. Let's see how this goes. Sweat. Great to see you. Just a heads up, I'm not gonna go easy on you. I hope you've done your stretches. 74 health is a lot of health. What are your moves? Headbutt on even, you can do whatever amount of damage, that's not bad. Earthquake, weaken 3 equipment, do 6 damage. That's crazy. That's a lot of equipment to weaken. I think we just gotta deal with this traditionally, we just gotta go for it, yeah? We have to bump a 5. So I think it would be better, and we need, no, we don't need an even, not the first turn. Okay. Sick. Alright, bump this. She gets 4 rolls. Shocking something doesn't really matter. So I think we just go all out damage. No, I'd rather inflict 1 shock and do 2 less damage. Do we use lightning round? I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because it all adds up anyway. Yeah. I think I'm right in that. That's a good roll for us, very low. It's fine. It's totally fine. Alright, we have Fury. I think we might just outright kill her here. That's bad. That's bad. I am wrong. We are not going to outright kill her here. We will, however, get pretty close. So, got you up. That would do 20. Then we do... I don't think this is worth it. The 6 for 3. Oh, but you know what? That would bring her down to 14. No, that kills her. Yep. Let's go. And there you have it. That is a Dicey Dungeons run. We have Baby Squid hosting. Hey, it's you. It's so good to see you. I'm just filling in here, but I meant to tell you that I'm going to spin the wheel. And then when you lose, I meant to say better luck next time, I think. So this is a joke. This is all story-based. I'm just going to spoil it here about the 6th character, so spoiler alert in case you care. But the 6th character is the Jester. He was the one that was originally hosting this game. After you win a certain number of games, I think he becomes one of the playable characters because he says he wants to escape with you against Lady Luck. So we have Baby Squid hosting now. Okay, yes, here we go. Here we go. And it's gonna land on the skull. I want that car, man. What is that, 1970s me pretending to know things about cars? Better luck next time. And that is episode 1 of The Warrior. So, as you can see, the Witch has been kicking my ass, and I haven't played any of the Jester. I kind of tested out one game with him, but, you know, I didn't really finish it. So, we will be back to showcase the Thief next time, which I will give you a better sight of here. The Thief, who is difficulty 2. And I'm very excited to join you guys on next episode. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you so much, and have a great day.